Welcome to the movies, pal. Your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos back with you once again tonight. We're talking about the 7th installment in a franchise that means quite a bit to me, and that would be the Tremors franchise. We're talking about the film Tremors, Shrieker Island, featuring Michael Gross. The Tremors franchise means a great deal to me because I remember going to see the first one in theaters with my very best childhood friend. And the film left a lasting impression on us. Not only was the film funny, thrilling, and scary, but for days after, I would walk around on the ground and go, "Oh shit, there could be tremors anywhere." You know, I would pretend there's tremors, and I'd, play with my cousins, like, "Run, get on the couch, there's a tremor." It was fun. It left horror movies nowadays don't necessarily leave impressions on you like they do, at least from what I can tell, from what they did back then. I've been a Tremors fan ever since. I've liked I would say I've liked every sequel. When it comes to the traditional movies, let me explain. It's had a very complicated sequelizing process. For those of you who don't know, the first 4 films I would consider the actual canon films, for the most part, because they were written, created, and produced by the guys who created Tremors. That was S.S. Wilson and Brent Maddock. They were behind the first 4 films. Love them or hate them, I think they're really fun films. I love the evolution of the Tremors. I think that's a really fun way to keep it fresh, keep it unique and interesting. Then after the 4 films, I'm not sure what happened, but they lost the rights, and I believe his name is Don Michael Paul, took over the franchise, and then we've got 3 films now with this one, 3 new films added to the franchise that I would consider sort of technically canon, but outside of canon. Michael Gross, of course, continued with the franchise. That's the only thing that links it to anything. Michael Gross is the mainstay, luckily, of the franchise. Keep that in mind. I think Part 5 was in Africa. Part 6 was snowbound Tremors. And Part 7 finds us on an island. I don't know where the hell, Thailand or something like that. Somewhere in an island. Beautiful, beautiful location. But we're island-based, so think Jurassic Park with Tremors, and you'll get an idea of what we're dealing with. I do want to mention we are going to be talking spoilers, but I'm going to save that towards the end because I can't fully review this movie without really going into spoilers. I think I'd be doing a disservice to the film, but I'll warn you before I get there. I will say the film gets rid of Jamie Kennedy's character. He was kind of set up in 5 and 6 as Bert's son. He disappears. Travis, I believe his name is. Travis disappears. There's a couple conversations that say, "Oh, he's in a Mexican jail or whatever." I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure why Jamie didn't come back. I kind of wish he had, because he was set, on a trajectory to take over for Bert. But he didn't. He doesn't come back. I'm not sure if he was difficult to work with. I'm not sure if he was, unavailable or whatever, or he just didn't care to come back. I'm not sure, but he's not in this movie, unfortunately. In the trailer, I did see John Heder, of course, Napoleon Dynamite, in the cast, and I thought, oh, did they recast Jamie with John? Turns out, no, they didn't. Jamie Kennedy's character still exists in the continuity of the franchise, which is good to know. And John Heder just plays a different character, another scientist that sort of joins Bert's team on this island. So, in the reality of the world, Travis, Bert's son, is out there and could come back, in the future if they make a Part 8. John Heder's character is not as funny as you would imagine here. He's actually a competent actor. I've always liked his stuff. And here he just plays kind of a wacky scientist. But he actually, mans up, and he's not kind of the goofball that Jamie Kennedy's character was, in a sense. I'll tell you the plot briefly. You can guess from the name. It's called Shrieker Island, and essentially what you have here is a wealthy industrialist charges tickets to these other wealthy industrialists to hunt Tremors on his private island. He's got a whole bunch of graboids, about 4 actually, and one of them has given birth to Shriekers. So you've got Shriekers and you've got graboids on this island. And it's kind of a mixed bag. You would think, because it's called Shrieker Island, that the Shriekers would be the main antagonists, that there'd just be mainly Shriekers running around. But no, mostly I think the big bad is a graboid, a big queen graboid kind of thing. Shriekers are there. They're there, and they have maybe 2 or 3 scenes of action But the Shriekers are sort of more of an afterthought. And they're also almost the easiest to kill that they've ever been in the franchise. Super easy to take out. And one downside to the movie, loses a star for this, is that there's no practical effects. From what I could tell, no practical effects. It's all CG, which has sort of been a mainstay of the franchise, especially the first four for sure. There was always practical monsters. No practical monsters in this one. They're all CG. That being said, the effects are fantastic. They look really real. I mean, they don't look really fake. They don't look video gamey. They look pretty much in camera, which is surprising to me. Maybe they fixed the lighting. Maybe they, tweaked a couple of the widgets on their special effects board or whatever the hell they do when they make the CG. But the effects look pretty damn good, for what this is. They direct to Blu-ray, 7th installment in a franchise. The effects look way better than they did in Part 5 and in Part 6. Actually, I'll be honest, I never actually finished Part 6, Cold Day in Hell. There's something about it, I don't know. I was never interested in rewatching it. I don't know why. I got about 20 minutes in, then I was like, I'll finish it later. And I just never went back to it. I don't know why, I just didn't. But this one, I'm happy to report, Shrieker Island is awesome. I know, it's crazy to say, but the 7th installment of a franchise that's basically ripping off Jurassic Park is great. This is a great installment. As a matter of fact, it might actually be the best of the spin-off sequels. I would say, yes, it is the best of the spin-off sequels. Better than 5. I liked 5. I didn't finish 6. But I think this is better than 5, better than 6. This is, I can't say it's the best sequel, because I really liked 3 and I liked 4. Obviously, 2 is great. But of the spin-off sequels, this is the best one. It looks expansive as hell. Beautiful scenery, gorgeous location. The camera work is great. The acting is awesome, and it's really competent acting. They didn't get, it isn't teenagers versus shriekers. That would be awful. These are great actors, great locations. It's a big budget movie. It feels huge. It may not have been huge, but it feels huge. It feels expensive. It's not necessarily an important installment in the franchise. It feels almost like, whatever. Oh, I remember that, the island one, yeah. Except when we get to the ending, it does really fit into the canon, and it becomes very, very important, but really only towards the end of the movie. So I'm going to get into spoilers right now, but in case you're wondering, I'm going to give you the review, the stars right now. This movie gets 4 stars from me. It would have gotten 5, but I'm taking 1 off because of the CG, the no practical monsters, and I'm taking a star off for really what happens at the end of the movie, which I'll get to in spoilers. I can't talk about it now because it would ruin everything, and I really want you to experience this movie because it's really, really worthy. So 4 stars for Tremors, Shrieker Island. Okay, spoilers. There's your warning. Are you ready for this? We don't get any setup as to where these Tremors, or I should say graboids, came from. But the graboids are growing on this island. There's somehow they do some kind of mutation. There's a bio lab involved. So these are kind of super shriekers and super graboids. Okay, fine. Bert, who lives on an island in Papua New Guinea, has got white Santa Claus hair. He's sort of retired. He's sort of abandoned the world. He gets called back into action like a typical badass. John Here comes to get him. They go to the island, and Bert has to, once again, square off against the graboids and the shriekers and all that stuff. There's some great action moments. Again, Michael Gross is fan-fucking-tastic. This is his role of a lifetime. I think he knows it. He knows it, and that's why he keeps coming back, which is fantastic. I'm so glad he didn't abandon the franchise. However, towards the end of the film, we don't get any indication that this is going to be Bert Gummer's last hurrah, but it is. The final battle between Bert Gummer and a graboid happens in this film because, you see, they decide to kill Bert off. That's right. Bert dies. And with it, in my estimation, the entire franchise. You cannot make another movie. Well, I guess they can, but it just won't be the same without Bert Gummer, who's been with this franchise since the beginning. Bert's dead. As far as I'm concerned, the franchise dies with this movie. The good news is Tremors, Shrieker Island is really, really fun. Really good. It's exciting. There's a lot of Shrieker and Tremor and graboid action, I should say. And Michael Gross is at the top of his game. He's still Bert. He's still got it. I just wish they had killed him. At first, I thought it was a joke. I thought he was going to show up like, like Indiana Jones going off the cliff Like, oh, he's dead. Oh my God, he died. No, he's good. He's climbing up over the edge. He's like, you can't kill Bert, but they do. They definitively kill him. The last shot of the movie is Bert's cap on a sort of a makeshift cross over his grave. Let's have a moment of silence for Bert Gummer, one of the great monster movie characters. Okay. Well, pal, I do suggest you watch Shrieker Island. It is a great time, especially if you love the Tremors franchise. I think you'll have a blast. It's a really solid movie, and it looks like the first one they actually gave a damn about, to be honest. Really good effects, a really fun time. I loved it. I really loved it. 4 stars. Bert Gummer, rest in peace. And now it's time to close the theater down, my friend. I hope this review has found you happy, healthy, and well. Did you watch the movie? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Please let me know in the comments. Like I always say, this is a two-way conversation. I'd love to get your input on the film and all that comes with it. For now, I'm going to bid you adieu. Thank you so much. I've got to pull the curtain here across the silver screen. Until we meet again, please remember that Bert Gummer lives in our hearts always. And I have been your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos, and you have been entertained.